All right. Well, we are, as you know, recording all of these calls. So welcome tonight to everybody that's on. I have found out that a lot of people are now going to the YouTube channel. There's one back. Yeah. Or going to the YouTube channel and actually watching the replays. So that's a good thing. And as I shared, we're going to be doing it the first Monday of every month at 5 p.m. It's going to be our team plus about 5 other teams of NMDs that are getting together for 30 minutes and just so that you guys don't have to keep hearing the same thing from me. You'll get to hear the same thing from other people, and just reconfirming all of the basics that we all talk about. So
I'm so excited that it's at 5 p.m. I was worried I was going to miss it because of work. I'm gonna block off my schedule just for that.
A few? Great. A few? 2? So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. Yay. So we're going to be doing that once again, every first Monday of the month. We also tomorrow, remember, we're doing anything for fast starts with everybody. We still are going to do starting strong for it. So if you have any new team members about really what we can do to get them start strong. And what we thought we would do tonight is just hear some stories about either from yourself. You do know that there is the YOLO YouTube page now. And Brittany has loaded about 3 years of Monday night calls on those as well as other calls. So Manon, we're hoping you're doing great. Sending you and your darling girl some love. So I hope all's all okay with you. And Manon, as we just shared, we're going to be doing the first Monday of every month with a call with the NMDs, about 5 other NMDs. We're going to be doing one big ginormous group call at 5 p.m. Because other NMDs too are like, why are our team calls us so small? So we want to all pull together and just edify each other and edify what's growing in the business. We also have 4 new senior sales coordinators from the UK. We have it from the UK, from Italy, who is in Dubai. So that is from the Limitless Girls team, from tomorrow's team. And so that's the new Limitless Girls, has a new sales coordinator over in Dubai. So very, very exciting. Lots of great things happening. There were a lot more qualifiers this month, especially here in the United States. So congratulations to all of you. I think with the new pay plan, not new pay plan, the new structure plan, it's very easy for people to move through the program of just U plus 2. If you want to see a little bit more, Cheryl did a call about that, about U plus 2, and then watching and repeating that to build your structure. There's not a lot of, household rules anymore. Very, very easy to build. But tonight, what we thought we would do just real quick because I know Suzanne has her call, is we would love if you guys would just share your stories. Just take a couple minutes. And because we do know from Eric's event, and I know a lot of you were in the GoPro Accelerator program, talked a lot about your story and being able to share your story. So we want to give you the opportunity to do that as much as possible, target practice on all of us, but also so that other people can hear your stories. And those that got to attend this week, I think pretty much all of you guys got to, attended the live stream. I'd love to know, 1, your story, and 2, one thing that you learned from the event. Anybody want to share? Anybody want to share? Who's going to be our first person? There's a small group, so we can do each share. Sure, go ahead, Mo.
So let's see. Well, I was on the game plan, and it was actually really good. It was late for me, and so in the end, I was a little delirious because it was getting towards 3 in the morning, and but there are a lot of great reminders of things that we know already, but also how no one can take your story or tell you that it's not your story, so nobody can argue with you. And so you can confidently tell your story. And so I've been trying to do that more since the other day, talking to people and saying, hey, can I share my story? And then they were talking about a lot about Instagram, which I'm trying to learn Instagram and get in there and use that more. And so they were talking about how you, what your story was like before and the pivot, and put that into your story and your Instagram stories and journal of what you're doing in your journey. And use words like when you're talking with someone, like I started Instagram, but I wasn't talking with people. So since this, since the game plan, they were saying how they just had quick stories with people that follow them, and you know, just say like, oh, hey, I see you're over in Australia on the beach. I'm getting ready to go to the beach myself. What are you doing? And ask or say what you're going to ask before you ask the question. Like, you know, like I'm going over to the beach. What's your day look like? So that way you're kind of asking them, you're telling them before you're asking them. So it makes it feel more personal.
And a lot more engagement, right? A lot more engagement.
Yeah. And so since I've been doing that, and I've just done it yesterday and today, people have actually talked back with me more like a friend conversation. And I'm like, oh, it is pretty easy. They said it was easy. It is pretty easy. And then
because people love to talk about who? Themselves, right? So let's hear your story, Mo.
My story. Well, my story is before I was in Juice Plus, I worked at a day.
So can I stop you? Can I stop you for a second?
You want me to stand up?
I want. So a couple things, Mo. I love you. I adore you. And you have got to be one of the most amazing, coachable people I've ever met in my entire life. And I just want you to know how much I adore you and how I love your commitment of just who you are. So now I want you to imagine that you're talking to the person that you know the Juice Plus and this mission would transform your life, the friendships that would be created. I want you really just to be in state, right? Because at all moments, I think the most important thing is that we're in state and that it's never a practice. It's more just, it's so ingrained in you and you can't wait to share it with people just from your heart because you know what it's done for you. All right. So just think about for yourself, what does it mean? Like what has this meant to you? It's meant friendships. It's been health for you, for your family, for your dad. It's been magic moments and travel and whatever that is meant.
And those are things that I like to say. But you know what, in my mind, I feel like I have to try and figure out a way to make it relatable to someone. So I think that stops me in my story, I think.
So let's just hear your story from Mo. Let's hear Mo's story. Yeah.
So my story or my story. So, well, I like some people, like I'm trying to talk.
Hand on heart story. Hand on heart story. You're talking to some girlfriends.
Yeah.
You really love these girlfriends. Hand on heart story. Whatever this person. Okay.
Before I started Juice Plus, I was taking care of my nephews and they were eating crap. And so someone told me about it. And so I signed up, they started eating Juice Plus. And right before my eyes, I saw their life change. I saw them change in the foods they chose, in their grades, in their attitude. And to this day, they still eat it. And it makes me happy that they are still eating it and proud to eat it. But the change in my father, I think, is probably the biggest one, because before Juice Plus, he was a meat and potato guy. And now I can't turn the camera around, but my Tower Garden's right here, and he would rather have a salad from the Tower Garden. Now this is an iceberg lettuce guy with sugar instead of dressing, but no longer. Now he eats all the greens from the Tower and craves them and eats probably no meat now. But he has more energy, and you know, I get to spend time with my dad doing stuff, where I have friends that are spending time with their dad in the nursing home. So he'll never stop eating it. I'm never going to let him stop eating it. I think everybody should have the quality time with their family like I get to have. And one thing right now, my sisters just had birthdays, all one right after another in February. And the one most common thing that everyone said is, you guys really know how to live life. You guys look like you haven't aged. You guys look like you have tons of energy. You guys, all the positive things that I want everybody else to feel. And that's why I won't stop eating Juice Plus. And that's why I keep sharing it with everyone over and over and over again.
Wow. So I don't know if everybody could see. I'm sorry, I thought I had my camera on. I wish I would have, because I want you to see just how my face of how just like, wow. So especially what you said about most people are visiting their parents in nursing homes, you know, and I don't know how you guys felt, but I'd love for us to give her some amazing feedback. One is I would love to know how old your dad is and how long your nephews have been on Juice Plus. Like, to me, those were just, I'm like, how long have they been on?
Oh,
how long have they, or maybe you just leave that for a question. Yeah.
He's 86. He'll be 87 August. And
Can't
one
believe
thing
it.
that my dad joined the business under my sister Susan. And the other day he was asking me about, you know, he goes, I don't know, I'm not making any money off this Juice Plus. I haven't gotten a check. I go, well, maybe you did direct deposit, Dad, because he doesn't really do the business. He shares it with a lot of people. He tells everybody when they say, how do you do that? And he says, fruits and vegetables, you know. He found out he had a check for $400. He was
there
like,
you go.
how did I do that?
That's so awesome.
So,
that's another great, those are such great things.
yes.
So, I mean, how many of you know somebody who has a parent that either is in a nursing, I mean, love to get your feedback. What did you guys hear from her story, or how are you moved? Leanne, how did you feel after hearing her story? Or Danica? I know Danica's on too. Anybody? Either of you?
Yeah, I could say I could relate to that. I wish that I had this, because my grandmother, I just wish that I'd had the products available for me to share with older parents or my grandparents. But I love that story's there for other people. So, because there's lots of my peers that have older parents and aging parents now, that I think that it is very relatable for sure. But also the fact that, I guess maybe with the nephews, are they on the Family Starts, like the Healthy Starts, I would assume? I can't hear you because you're muted.
Didn't realize I was muted. They started out on it was called, what was it called? Children's Health Study.
Okay.
Now this is when they were young. Now they're like 20 and older.
So they've grown up on it.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is amazing.
Carrie knew them when they were little kids, when they first started on the Juice Plus. But yeah, my older nephew, Shane, who's 21, he like swears by the shakes and says that helped him in his wrestling and his recovery and helped him focus in school. And yeah, all good stories. I would love to have them on and share their stories.
Sounds like you have a wealth of information and stories to share for years and years and years of experience. That's cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How about you, Danica? Anything that you wanted to? I love it. Like you said, there's so many stories she can share. Anyone else?
I can share my story.
Sure.
So I got introduced to Juice Plus by Loren, of course. And after being with Loren for a little bit, she's like, you got to try it. You got to try it. You got to try it. So I got on it, but also my kids take the gummies, not Saoirse because she doesn't have teeth. But she does the shakes with me. And Aaron, my husband, he takes the capsules every day, and he like lives by them. And he had blood work done a while ago, like a year ago. And then he recently had blood work done, and his blood work came back immensely better. You know, I think something that is hard to explain to someone who's not, you know, like reading the material that you're giving them or really listening to the words you're saying, is that it's hard to convey how much of a difference that this product makes shakes, because it's not necessarily you're going to like drop 15 pounds and you're going to be so skinny and everything's going to change, but your body is functioning better as a machine and your body is able to get the nutrients that it needs. And I think it was Cynthia posted something on Instagram or Facebook the other day about she did a cute video like this or that, and she showed a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables on the counter, and then she showed the capsules, and I was like, that's such a good like visual of, you know, you could eat entire salad or eat all these fruits and vegetables, but if you're someone like my husband, like he eats once a day, and I know that's not good for you, but that's part of the reason why I really wanted to get him on Juice Plus after hearing about it from Loren, because he doesn't eat proper nutrition. I love him, but he doesn't. And this really has changed his body and it's helped him immensely. And so, you know, having my whole family on it, and even my 1.5-year-old, you know, they're picky eaters. She goes through phases. Sometimes she eats healthy, sometimes she doesn't. And so I feel comfortable that she's getting the nutrients she needs because I'll make her a shake. And she's totally content. She loves it. Like, she asks for shakes now. So it's changed our lives too, because we're busy. We don't eat the best that we could. I think everyone has room for improvement in that world, you know. And, you know, I have my family on it. My mom is on it. My husband's bonus mom is on it, you know, and my husband's stepdad actually is on it, and he's in his 90s and he even feels better. Like, every day he takes this and he feels so much better. And this is a guy who owns a restaurant and went from working every single day to now being home because no restaurants are open. He can't even run his restaurant. And so he was feeling really defeated and really lethargic. And I said, like, maybe you should try Juice Plus. And now he feels better. I mean, he still misses the restaurant business, obviously, and working every day, but his whole body feels better because it works on your insides, you know, which makes you feel happy on the outside, which, you know, where you project into the world. It's all energy at the end of the day. And, you know, I'm very grateful for being introduced to the product. And I really do feel like it's made a difference in my life and my family's lives.
There you go. So look right there. Two amazing stories, especially for seniors. I think those were great. Danica, if you can just write down, if Mo, if we can ask your dad to be on a call and another senior call. But think about, just from those two stories there, who do you know that needs to hear one of those stories? Maybe someone with young kids, maybe someone who, you know, with nieces and nephews. I mean, think about what you learned from just those two stories and the power of sharing your story. You never know who it can help. That's why we're going to, you know, we really want to encourage you to go to the YouTube page, share those stories with people, but just just talk to everybody. You know, Cheryl always says it's target practice, you know. I would encourage everybody to go to the live stream that they just did. It was a great event, some great nuggets with regards to everything. And I think that if you got any excuses, you'll get over them real quickly after listening to that, the event this weekend. I think that you'll be kind of like, oops, you know, what do I really want? And why do I really want it? And what could this really mean? And do it more than anything, because you never know who you can help. And I think that's what so many people share this weekend, is that you just have no idea who's going to be that person that if you don't share the business or you don't share the product. And that's, I want to give her plenty of time to prep. And every day I'm grateful that I got out of my own way. Honestly, I got out of my own way. I still remember when I was leaving to go up to San Francisco to go see Suzanne, where she offered to do these two fillings for me. And I was nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, do I put the chewies and the capsules in the gift basket I'm going to give her? Do I do that? Do I not do that? Oh my gosh. I started sweating. I'm like, and I remember taking them out of my bag so many times and putting them back in my bag and taking them out and putting them back in. And then I'm like, screw it. And I just, you know, and who knew that she was going to be able to help so many people at her practice because of Juice Plus. Who knew how this was going to help her daughter? Who knew? So I would say the most important thing that I would share with you tonight, and the theme of tonight, is get out of your own way. You got to get out of your own way, you know, and, you know, just be loud and proud about the amazing business that we have and the amazing product. As you guys know, we have a new CEO. I mean, Paulo's still there, but this wonderful woman, she's 50 years old. And she worked for Coca-Cola for 20 plus years. She worked for Beyond Meat, and she's the one that wanted to come work with Juice Plus. So the company's the company's growing with or without, whoever doesn't want to play. But I would encourage you, now is the time. If not now, we say it all the time. If not now, when? If not this, then what? If not you, then who? Right? And I know it sometimes sounds like words, but it's truly, truly important to just go, ask yourself the question, what do I need to do to make this business a bigger priority? What do I need to do to share this more? Mo, you're unbelievable. And your stories, you've got so many amazing, compelling stories, and your heart is huge, So, and Danica, I love that you have a story already, just taking the products. So she's already been sharing the business as well. She didn't share that with you, but she has been. So, Suzanne, I wanted to kind of just turn to you for the last 3 minutes before we get on the call and support you, and anything that you could just share about what this has done for you and why you're going to tell everybody get the hell out of their own way. Anything? She's still there? Did she leave?
Suzanne left. She's
prepping. So anyway, guys, let's go support Suzanne. I hope you invited a lot of people. I've got 10 people, I think, coming on this call tonight. And once again, the first of every month, starting in April, we're going to be doing a call with a Zoom call with about 5 other NMDs. It's going to be Tammy Lamison, Beth Myers, Courtney O'Donnell, Cheryl's Frontline, and probably Amanda's Frontline. And we're going to be doing one giant call. So we want to make sure that'll be at 5 p.m. as well. And just to get a lot more people on the calls. And, and just make this a priority. This is our one chance. I mean, it's the beginning of the month, the first, the last month of the first quarter. I've got all of your goals from what you guys said that you wanted, for the first month. And I know life happens, but, I have a little sticky note right here. It says, what do I need to do to make this business a bigger priority for myself? And not just, I want to brag about Josh for a second. He put on 5 new team members and 10 new customers this month. So here's somebody who was, ready, aim, fire, rocking. And then he took some time, stepped out of line step out of line, just didn't really do anything, but now he's got really re-energized. And he's like, Mom, I'm just being bold. I mean, look how much it's helped me over these past 13 years, for himself. And so just go for it. What's the worst thing that could happen if you shared this amazing product and this amazing business with people? So let's go support Suzanne, and I'll see you guys on the next call. All right. Bye, guys.